Hey there, everybody. This is a quick review of Battletech. As always, I don't do reviews. I more or less just talk and ramble and tell you my thoughts and hope that that aids in your purchasing decisions. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Battletech is it's kind of a turn-based combat game with an overarching story. It's very similar to XCOM if you're familiar with that series, and the great thing about it is I feel like it has a little bit more story than XCOM, and well, like, the story matters. In XCOM I feel like I cared more about my base and upgrading. Obviously I cared about my people, but the story was just kind of blah. Like, yeah, aliens came and, XCOM 2 is after the fact, after aliens already conquered, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it wasn't that great of a story. So if you like stories, Battletech for me has a much greater storyline. However, I'm not sure, they do allow some variability in the storyline, but I believe the main overarching story is going to be the same thing, and so that might hurt replayability a little bit, but I can tell you right now I'm already 20 hours into this game and I already want to replay the campaign just to see if I lose less people. I mean, so I don't really know where I'm at in the campaign at this moment, so that might be that might mean the difference of I don't know. Well, right now it would be 40 hours of gameplay time if I just replay the campaign from this point, and I'm not sure. I feel like I'm maybe a half to 3/4 of the way through the campaign. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of the main missions and not a lot of the side quests, but you kind of have to do the side quests, otherwise you are going to lose a lot, because you have two components. You have your mechs and then you have your mech warriors, and you need to level up your mech warriors, get them experience. I've not done a very good job keeping mine alive. They've died a lot, and so I want to try to get through a campaign without having so many of them killed, and then maybe do some more side quests to get my tonnage up would help in that. Like I said, there's no difficulty adjustment. There is just a recommended tonnage for each mission, and that kind of progresses as you go through the game. And so obviously the higher tonnage required, the higher the payout. You can select a variability between money as rewards, reputation, or weapon components and armor components, or mech components rather, and you can use those to build your own mechs. And it's actually the most cost-effective way to get a mech. It's just a little bit random. With each system that you go to, it does also have a store, but more often than that does not have the mech components that you need. Well, it'll have, depending on the system, they typically have a very good selection of weapons, but as far as mech component parts, it does not typically have a very good selection. But anyway, I really love this game. I feel like the combat is difficult enough, like the AI is smart enough that I feel I really need to pay attention and think about what I'm doing, otherwise I'm going to get shredded. However, I don't feel like the combat is so hard that I need to sit there and analyze 20 moves in advance what exactly is going to happen and what I'm actually going to do. I don't have to plan out to that detail. I feel like I can just have a general plan. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to flank with this guy. I'm going to, try to get up close with this guy. I'm going to get up on the ridge with this guy. So it's kind of just a general plan, and then read what they're doing and adjust from there. And I really enjoy that. I don't typically like turn-based games that I feel I have to sit back and study for an hour before I take a turn to make sure I'm not making the wrong play. And that's like, for example, Civilization 6, any of the Civilizations, as much as I enjoy them, eventually, as I play on the harder difficulty levels, which I feel I need to do to give myself a challenge, then it becomes the matter of, well, I need to play close to perfection, so I spend way too much more time than I should with each turn analyzing what's the best actual move here. And so I don't know. I really like this game for that. And then also, as a fan of turn-based strategy, this game it feels like a lot of the battles are, I guess they could have a similar feeling. They feel, it's similar, escort the convoy, or assault this base, or destroy this, or just have an outright battle. But the terrains are widely varied, the maps are widely varied, and it gives you the feeling that no two battles are the same. And even if the battlefield was the same, then you're never going to have the exact same mechs as the enemy did, because you'll inevitably have adjusted differently than what the default standard stock is. And on that topic, the mechs have so much, I mean, there's got to be millions, probably near infinite, different combinations that you can put on these mechs. It's just amazing, and it's really, I don't want to say overwhelming, but it could be to some people. I felt just giddy at the possibility of all the different outcomes that exist for configuring your mechs. And there's so many different strategies. You can have, you can try to have a blocking force. You can have a long range missile or autocannon, attack force. You could have somebody that goes to try to flank them and, get behind them and shoot them in their rear armor, which is really weaker, or a melee mech, and any other combination between. And then even if you have those same types of mechs, you can change all the different weapons you put on them. So you could have a long range mech with an autocannon, or a long range mech with right now I'm trying to experiment and see what, if I put no armor on a mech, I load it up with missiles and kind of use it as an indirect fire. So he's out of sight and they can't ever reach him, but he's kind of like a glass cannon. And I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. I haven't tried it yet, but there's so much potential for experimenting with different strategies here. If you enjoy turn-based games, if you enjoy turn-based combat, this is it. The overview of the campaign is it's got a money-based system that you fail, and so if you take too much damage in the battles, or you can't pay which leads to not being able to pay the bills, or you hire too many good pilots right off the bat, for example, or you choose the wrong types of rewards and missions. Like I said, if you try to build up your reputation to earn more rewards in the future, well, then you're not making money on the missions, and your mechs take damage, and that requires money to repair. And especially if you lose an arm or a torso or weapon components, that stuff's very expensive to replace. And the payout from your mission may not have paid for the mission itself, for the repairs on your mechs, let alone the salaries and just the upkeep of your ship that you have to pay once a month. You do get some variability where you can select a different budget, but by and large, it's basically you have to make more than you spend. That's the bottom line. And you guys know, for me, that's always a challenge. So I'm really having fun with this game. I have not yet played any of the custom skirmishes, the multiplayer skirmishes. That would be great fun to play with. I don't know, maybe I could get one of you guys out there to play with me and follow along. We could live stream it so you can make fun of me when I lose badly. But anyway, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun in the future. After I beat the campaign, I'll probably explore around in the custom multiplayer matches a little bit, and then I'll go back to trying another campaign again. Overall, I would not be surprised if I have 75 hours invested in this game minimum. This game's going to take up a lot of time, and I've been playing it a lot off camera, off screen. So I do hope that you all enjoyed that little rundown. Let me know if you have any questions, but those are kind of my thoughts and my feelings on the game. I'm not normally one to talk about graphics. I mean, they're there. You can see them and judge for yourself. And then bugs, I'll talk about them if I notice any, but I haven't noticed any. So other than that, that's basically my thoughts on the game. So I hope that you all enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe YouTube if you enjoyed this, and be sure to follow over on Twitch, because that's where I do a lot of all my live streaming nowadays. So anyway, thanks again, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.